Paranoia is in boom. The PR transmissions will resume. They'll try to push drugs to keep us all dumbed down and hope that they will never see the truth around. Another promise, another scene, another package lie to keep us trapped in greed. Another green bells wrapped around our minds, an endless red tape to keep the truth confined. They will not force us. They will stop degrading us. They will not control us. We will be victorious.
Hello, everybody.
Good evening.
I hope you aren't going through a horrible withdrawal. I've been in Italy for 2 weeks, and then
Yeah.
I've been sick as fuck. So yeah, this is the there were 2 Mondays that I left Matt alone, and the channel went dark, and it was like very Simon and Garfunkel, like, hello, silence, my old friends. Like, I'm sure people were mourning and everything, but guess what?
Yep.
It's back. Dun, dun, dun. And holy fuck, is there a lot to talk about? Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It is so, I think I say this pretty much every week, but it is so fucking difficult to pick out just like several things to talk about, because there's a million. Like, we literally could do 10-hour shows every week easily.
There's enough. Yeah, there's enough.
Like, I put stuff in the chat all week long, videos, articles, blah blah blah, like just kind of piling up. And then today I'm just like, okay, now I'm gonna narrow it down. And I'm like, but also what I go through for you guys. But that's because I love you. So yeah, and let me tell you, I digress, but this was some weird shit going. I was in Italy about 10 years ago, but we didn't go to Rome. I did go to Rome this time, and the kicker was we went to the Vatican and stuff. It didn't burst into flames, thank you.
Oh,
and when we went, it was very interesting because I grew up Lutheran, recovering, thankfully. And so I went to church every single week, and Sunday school and the whole nine. And so I'm very familiar with a lot of the Bible. I actually had to fucking translate the 4 books of like John, Paul, Mark, Luther, Vandross, whatever the fuck it is. I had to translate those into my own fucking words to get my communion. That was like way before the internet. And it's like, well, this shit's already been translated 8,000 times. Why the fuck do I need to do it?
To make sure that you understood it, Joy, you have to prove it.
I don't even know if that dude read what we wrote. I felt like just inserting some, because go fuck yourself, just to see if he was even reading it. But anyway, I do know some stuff. And, still, it was so surreal being on these tours and everything. And, in St. Peter's Basilica and, the Vatican and all these historical places in Rome that are, so biblical and, Catholic and Christian and all of these things. And, they're going over all of these historical things and some of which that they just believe in that aren't historical, but
yeah,
I digress. And, so many things I was like, that's happening in Palestine. That's literally happening in Palestine.
right
Yeah,
now.
that too is happening in Palestine. And it's so fucking bananas because Christians side with Israel as a whole.
Hmm.
They like lick
It's
the
in their
boots
holy
of
book.
Israel.
It's literally in their holy book to side with Israel. And
But the
all this
thing is,
biblical stuff that's happening, they're like, good, it's biblical. That's what we want. Of
but
course
the
it's happening.
bananas thing is that if you care what happened to your people, why the fuck are you cool with someone else doing it to people? Second of all, did you ever see like actual footage of the way Israelis treat Christians? They
No, I
spit on
guarantee you they
them.
have not. They have not seen that.
They spit on them. They curse at them. I've seen them physically assault them. They literally tried to make it illegal to proselytize any Christianity in Israel, punishable in prison. Like, just for saying, follow the Bible or whatever you want to say. But they side with them. And the more, this chick is talking, the more this irate I'm getting because, like, you're talking about churches being set on fire. Oh, like the mosques. You're talking about them being deprived of food. You're talking about them, it just every fucking thing they said. And even more descript than that. I'm being very vague. But everything they said, I'm like, this is literally happening. The difference is these people are brown.
They're
That's
brown. Yep.
different.
They're brown and they're not around here. They're over there.
Yeah. And
It's
it's
basically
just it's so fucking gross. But the one thing that was made me feel so, I don't know if it's relieved or what. We went to this museum and it's called the Capuchin Crypts, and it's not monkeys. I thought for sure it was monkeys because that's what I always think of when I think Capuchin, like the little organ grinder, like
yeah, yeah. Oh,
symbols.
this is bones, right?
It's bones. It's over 4,000 people. Over 4,000 people.
God.
Thousands of bones. They have a room that's just pelvis bones. And yeah, it was my kind of place. And they made like designs out of them and stuff. Really beautiful. Really beautiful. Not gonna lie. It was gorgeous. It was like very Baroque, and they made like patterns like butterflies, and it was so cool. But anyway, these were like religious people's bones. And so you listen to the audio tape, as you go through. And we get to this one place and it's saying where the dirt came from that they made the soil out of to have those bones
Yeah.
be in the walls and the ceilings and stuff, and they said Palestine. Now the reason this matters is because this was in the 1500s.
So Palestine's been around.
This is a historically accredited museum. I somehow doubt that they would give wrong information, especially because that would literally just fuck them up to the point that they may have to close because they would just
One
lose
would hope.
all
Yeah.
credibility whatsoever. But it said Palestine, and I like not rewinded it, but went back to that passage again, and I was like, oh my God. And then I asked my husband, and he's like, yeah, they said Palestine. So I'm like, wait, these were built from 1500 to 1630. And the soil came from Palestine. And I was just like,
Yeah.
glad, I guess. I don't know if it's a very simple word, but I was just, I figured it was somewhere there, but the fact that they labeled it Palestine made me very
Yeah, it's
like,
pretty cool.
and it was, it happened many moons ago. Sorry, Zionists. Um, but I hope they don't watch this show because now they're going to try to get them shut down. But anyway, so we have breaking news. I've been posting some breaking news the past
Yeah.
few days on East Palestine. Today is was the day where opt in, opt out had to be postmarked by, as they sent it in today, for the class action. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard me talk about the class action like a bajillion times, but more and more info becomes available as time goes and as, people are more and more comfortable opening up to me, because it's, I do have people that wish to remain, silent,
Anonymous.
unnamed and anonymous and such. And I always respect that.
Yeah.
Um,
But you've spoken with residents who have chosen either. It's a mixed bag. I mean,
well, here's the thing. Okay, so there's a lot of things that go into this. There's several options. You can accept, but object.
oh,
You can decline, or you can say nothing at all or not send it back and be automatically signed in.
automatically signed in.
Automatically opted in if you say nothing or refuse to send it back.
Okay.
You're automatically in it. So there's a lot.
So it's not just a yes or no. It's a
yes, but I object to the terms, a no, or a nothing, which in turn is a yes.
I see. Okay.
So I sent you 2 tweets.
Yeah.
If we can go to the first one first, I believe it was 2 days ago.
So I'm pretty sure it's this one. Class action lawsuit opt-in, opt-out deadline is tomorrow. You want to talk about how the lawsuit does not include permanent relocation?
Yes. Okay.
Does not include moving these people out. Does not include the buyout of their toxic and uninhabitable homes. The amount provided is $30,000 per household, regardless of how many people are in your house.
Oh, it should say 70.
That's what did I say?
30.
Okay, it's 70,000 per household. So this sucks for the multi-generational households out there. This sucks for a lot of people.
Yep.
Lawyer fees are 27% to 40%.
Yep.
Unacceptable. The lawsuit states that any temporary housing, any hotel stays, any assistance of any kind over the past 17 months received by Norfolk Southern will be deducted from the amount you get.
Yeah.
Wow. Some of the temporary housing for residents has Norfolk Southern listed as the tenant, yet the residents are told they will still have the deduction. Wow. Yeah, that's not free, folks. We're going to charge you for that. What the fuck? Yeah, and at no time were the residents told that they would have to pay back their housing. So this is a surprise to literally everyone. A portion of the money awarded will go to the landlord of where they were staying. Huh. And if you opt into this class action, you waive any future right to sue Norfolk Southern, regardless of reason. That's the kicker, man. That is, wow. All right, there is a subdivision of the class action which is for medical needs. This class action does not include health care. You will be given a max of $10,000. This is for medical needs, right?
Yes.
You must prove to Norfolk Southern's discretion that the derailment caused your ailments. Wow. Okay. You waive any future legal right to sue Norfolk Southern for the health of your children, for your health or your children's health. And the class action website does not state how the payment amounts will be configured. So yeah, you'll get your money. What did they say before Christmas? Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice of them to tell them that. They said you'll be getting your checks close to Christmas. So of course, being parents who know their kids haven't had a fucking Christmas, they want to just have this shit be over with.
Yeah, but the
Was
way
that
they're
all
being,
that one said?
yeah, that's all that one said. All right. Let me see. Here's the
So then
second.
I have another update yesterday because I was on a conference call with some residents who spoke very candidly about their concerns. Should they opt in? Should they opt out? There's not one person I've spoken with that's been like, oh yeah, nobody. Everyone's fucking confused. It's 140 fucking pages.
Can you send me that document? I'd like to see that document.
Excuse me.
If you have the document, I would like to see it. I'm just going to read this. So, Norfolk Southern is taking $180 million for lawyer court fees off the top of the $600 million, which was supposed to be allotted to the residents. So, this $180 million is in addition to the 27 to 40% lawyer fees, which each individual household is required to pay. There is a Norfolk Southern document which states a certain amount of residents. If a certain amount of residents opts out, Norfolk Southern will reevaluate the lawsuit, but the number needed is classified, so we don't know how many people would need to do that. But that again, that would be interesting. It says Norfolk Southern has written off the EP temporary housing costs, etc., on their taxes. Yet the class action states the amount will also be deducted from any settlement awarded to those individuals. So they're double dipping. Bastards. Some residents have been finding out that they have been dropped by their lawyers with no notice or explanation. The amount allocated depends on the distance from your home to ground zero. And you spoke with a woman who is 16 miles out and will be given $250. And she is sick. That's
plus take the lawyer fees out of that.
No way.
16 miles. Matt and I have been there 4 times. And
I've got
we
sick
have
every
been
time.
sick.
Yeah. Imagine living there.
16 miles is nothing. Nothing. There are people, this shit hit 12 states.
Yeah.
Actually, now I think they bumped it to 16.
Last I saw it was 16. That
yeah,
plume,
they bumped it to 16 states.
the Venton burn.
States are kind of separate things. So the fact that she's 16 miles out, $250 fucking dollars. I'd rather get nothing.
That makes me want to throw bricks.
Like, I would literally rather them give me a box of shit than say, here's $250.
Yeah.
Like, that is so fucking insulting. So is 70,000, but because that is per household, you guys. That is not per person. That is per household. So you take 70,000.
Yeah.
And you take some of my comrades in EP. So not to jump the gun, but before I forget, some of my comrades in EP, they have they're living in an B&B, not a nice B&B, but an Airbnb, like a little apartment thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Them, their spouse, their kids, their mom and dad. Okay, so it's like a 3-bedroom or what have you. Well, it turns out those shits are over $3,000 a month. Well, guess what? They were there a fucking year. So that's $36,000 taken off of the 70,000. But before you do that, you got to take off the fucking 27 to 40% for the fucking lawyers.
The fucking lawyers, man.
So you do that, and etc. etc. You keep deducting shit. You get fucking nothing. Nothing.
I'm pissed off.
Crazy.
Yeah.
What else do I have listed on that?
The last piece was the class action decision must be postmarked by, I guess, today.
Mm-hmm.
And each household's detailed claim is required by August 22nd. What does that mean?
So essentially, by today, what they need to do is just say if they opt in with reservation, opt out, or do nothing, which means they opt in. That is all that needs to happen by today. By August 22nd, they need to have an actual claim filled out by their lawyer stating, I'm claiming that this lawsuit is applicable because XYZ.
Mm-hmm.
And
that
thing, I want everyone
that they were poisoned by the derailment. Is that
part
of that?
That's a separate. That's the health one.
Okay.
That's not for that. And again, that's a max of $10,000. And there's nothing on the website that says, what is it? You have cancer, you get ding ding ding, you get the 10,000. Is it like what? How is it broken down?
They want it to be confusing. They don't want to provide health care. They're doing everything they can to prevent it from happening.
So I also want people to understand that the thing is, these people, while August 22nd is approaching, and they have to break down this claim. If it's denied, it's denied. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, these people who have opted in with objection, our dear friend Jamie Ray Wallace, who's been on the show many times, my girl, she typed up an objection letter and presented it with people in the community that said your name here, kind of. And it was, you type it out and it says, like, I object because XYZ, I am opting in. However, this needs to be added. This needs to be withdrawn, blah, blah, blah. Cool. Okay. Here's the issue. They deny those objections. You're still in that lawsuit. You can't just say, you didn't agree to what I asked for, I'm out. That's risky as fuck.
Yeah.
And that's what really, really, really fucking scares me, is all my comrades who are like, this is unfair, this is bullshit, that
they'll get nothing.
They opted in with their reservations. And I said, you guys, they don't have to do, you can't trust that they're going to do anything.
Yeah,
they're not going to fucking care.
It's a fucking trap.
It is a fucking trap. People are getting sicker and sicker. I get texts every fucking day. You know, this person's back in the hospital. Now this person's in the hospital. This person has tremors. This person has shakes. You know what's really fucking weird? There's this thing going around for the past month and a half. Everyone's having their fucking gallbladder out. It's so weird. Christina, everybody's having fucking gallstones and having their gallbladders out.
Oh my God.
it is, I'm sure it's a coincidence, granted.
Sure, yeah.
But these are people with no gallbladder histories, nothing. And it's women. It's all women.
Oh no.
It's so fucking weird. And I know, firsthand from being told by many residents, women have a lot of issues as far as, menstruation, as far as having children, I mean, everything has just been so fucked up for women as far as, babies or, menstruation, anything like that.
Yeah.
Ovarian cysts going around like crazy. I don't mean going around like it's contagious, but women's ovaries and everything have been one of the most, attacked things in people's bodies. And, their doctors and even people from the CDC have told them, you will likely not have kids. They have even told young girls this who
That's
aren't even, having their fucking period yet. They've told them, you will likely not have children. So it's crazy that these, people think over time it gets better. It has not. Every time I go there, I get sicker
yeah.
than the last time.
Hmm.
So fucking frustrating. So I'm still getting texts left and right, people letting me know if they opted in, opted out. I said something on the show. I'm sweating so bad because I'm sick and I'm trying to sweat out this fever. Um, I know it's sexy, but I'm just telling everyone because I'm sure you care. But last night I said it on the EP update show. I hadn't never said it on the air before, and as a journalist, I don't like conspiracy theorists, and I don't like conjecture, and I don't like these things. But I'm going to give you facts, and whatever you want to take from that, and if you allude to something from that, if you come up with something, if you think, oh, it's got to be XYZ, I'm leaving that up to you, but I'm going to give you some absolute facts. People who are outspoken in EP. There is one woman who has had a calf's tongue put on her porch.
Yeah.
She has been rear-ended in accidents twice within 1 month, once breaking her neck, and they did not get out of the car. She went to her house about 3 weeks ago, and the contaminated one, she went back to see if she could try to like salvage anything since it's been like 16 months, 17.
Yep.
And when she opened the door, there was a smell like gases on. And she walked in, and every single piece of paper in her place was out of the file cabinets, strewn on the floors. Even the fucking, shopping list, everything was just all over the place, just ransacked.
So
Okay.
who would have done that? Who do you think? Hmm.
It could have been the wind. I don't fucking know.
It could be. I mean,
the
you could be a
light,
conspiracy
yeah.
theorist. You could be a good detective. That's what you're being.
I would also like to know who set one of the residents' houses on fire.
Yeah. Wow.
And even though she reported it to the police, why it's not getting looked into.
Oh,
I'd like to know that.
The police are part of this.
And I just want to tell everyone, I have seen pictures of every single one of these things. I've seen the picture of the cow tongue, the house on fire. I've seen it all. Like, these are things I know as a fact. Some of the things I do not show because it's a very small town, and I do what these people ask me. If they say I don't want the pictures out, then I won't. So, but these things are happening. And they're being told things like, watch out. Like, seriously, watch out. Because people who are speaking out are not feeling safe.
It sounds like the literal mafia. Like the Italian mob or something is running all of this shit.
It's like the fucking environmental terrorist mob.
Yeah, they're going to be like, they're going to come break your legs if you speak out.
But you know what's so interesting about that? You know, when all of this happened, they treated these people like the biggest dumb redneck fucks. They're stupid. They walk around with toothpicks in their mouth. They're so dumb. They're inbreds. Now, you and I both know some of these people are smarter than most anyone we've ever met. They've taught themselves how to be fucking scientists because
Yeah.
the EPA doesn't give a fuck. I
Yep.
mean, these people are smart. They they mock them, like stuff like that. Nobody talks like that. They just happen to live in a very rural area that is very poor. They do not talk like
Blasting.
yokels. Like, they stereotype them as these like white trash people. They live on farms. Like, they're poor. That's the reality. That doesn't mean they're dumb. And they expected nothing from these people. They just thought they're just going to roll over and die. And here comes these people that are so much smarter than they thought they were and had so much more will and fight in them that they ever thought they would.
Yeah.
And now they're panicked. They've been panicked. And especially with the NTSB hearing coming out,
Yeah,
they
that was
should be panicked.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
It was awesome.
We have a comment from Chrissy. She says, "Thank you both for all you're doing to keep our voices heard."
Oh, is that Chrissy? Chrissy?
Hilton.
Oh, hi, Chrissy. You're up late, girl. You are up late. I love you. That's my girl. She's been on my show a few times, guys. She is in East Palestine. She is one of the loudest, outspoken residents who's just the best.
Yep.
Above it all, she remains a kind, beautiful, wonderful, inspiring person. And she's probably crying right now because we always make each other cry. But yeah, I sometimes I really think, I really wish I could be half the fighter that some of these East Palestine people are, because it's just truly incredible. It really is.
Yeah.
We will never, well, just like my sign says, girl, right behind me, I'll never shut the fuck up about East Palestine. Ever. Not gonna happen, girlfriend.
Me neither.
Yep. We won't let you guys. So how many, let me see here. It looks like, oh, we got quite a number of people watching on Twitter. So you guys, what I always ask, which nobody ever does, but I'm going to keep asking, is that when you're watching on Twitter, please bounce over to YouTube for a second, smash like, smash subscribe, and then go back to Twitter if you want. But watching on Twitter does nothing for my numbers, my algorithm, nothing. So if you like what you're watching, come to my YouTube, take 30 seconds, smash like and subscribe, and then go back to X if that's what you desire.
X, you called it X. Gross.
What's that?
You called it X. That's gross. Don't do that.
That's the first time I've ever called it X for any reason in my life. It's kind of weird. What else do we have?
We can talk about 1881A.
Oh, yes. And I reached out to Chrissy and Jamie, and they will be helping me.
Cool.
So Rep Chris Rabb, who is a Philly congressman, you know how I feel about government, but I will say he comes to our Palestine protests and stuff like that, like in plain clothes, like he's down. He's, you know, he's still government, so I have, you know, whatever. But he's joined us in Palestine protests, environmental protests. Like he's, you know, he's someone that I've, you know, met with, interviewed, spoken with, you know, for years. He used to work for Bernie back when Bernie was like good. And he reached out to me, and because I told him when I saw him in Harrisburg, I was telling him about 1881A, because Chris actually went to East Palestine when he was coming back from Chicago to see family. He stopped in East Palestine on the way back to Philly and came unannounced, plain clothes, just came to like this town hall thing they were doing, showed up. He said he was a rep, just kind of like making conversation, just saying, you know, I really hope I can help you guys with something, that kind of thing. And they were like, oh my God, you know, can we, there were news people there and stuff. And he was like, no interviews. I am not here on like business. I am here because I want to talk to these people. Like, that's why I'm here. And I just had so much respect for that, because he wasn't using that moment as like, you know, let me tell you what my campaign did. Like, and it wasn't even campaign time. That's why I was like, okay, he's going because he gives a fuck. So
Cool.
they all think very highly of him. And I was telling him about 1881A last month when I met up with him at the Capitol. And, you know, he and his legislative assistant reached out to me about 2.5 weeks ago and said, hey, we're going to write legislation to hold President Biden accountable for not signing 1881A.
Yeah.
And do you want to help with the legislation? And I was like, yeah. So basically what's going to happen is we're, you know, writing this legislation saying, hey, you've had a declaration of disaster on your desk for 1 year tomorrow, and you haven't done fuck all. Not one thing have you done. You haven't even fucking touched it. You haven't mentioned it. Okay, these people could have had Medicare for life. They have nothing. And so anyway, so basically, will it pass? I don't fucking know. But the point is, someone's trying to help, and it gives them hope. That's all I care about. And I also care that it'll get it in the news that there's something called 1881A that Biden could give these people immediately to help ease them, because there's two things that these people say in East Palestine and surrounding areas 24/7. Healthcare, buy us out. That's all they've ever wanted, ever.
Yep.
Give us and our kids healthcare for life, buy our houses out.
That's
want
the
out.
bare minimum, I think.
Bare
in
minimum.
my opinion.
That's all they want. This is a multi-billion-dollar company. They could have done that 100-fold. They have done that 100-fold with their fucking lawyer fees
And their
and
playgrounds and their water
playgrounds. They're
parks.
fucking, oh God, it's disgusting.
Yep,
So
that's
it's
gross.
like, you know, they could have done this. Like the average home in East Palestine is like $95,000. So
yeah, that's how you know this is class warfare. Yeah. Yep.
Exactly. Like, so you take 95,000, let's round it up to $100,000. So, okay, so 600 million is what they're offering, you know, it's 420 after they take out their lawyer fees or whatever. But let's just say 600 million. So you take that and you take, I don't know, let's say 6,000 people, and you could buy them all new homes. What's the fucking problem? The problem is admitting culpability. That's the problem. So anyway, so we're going to be working on that, hopefully at the very least, bringing attention to the fact that there is something called 1881A. It was done in Libby, Montana. It was used. These people still have Medicare for life to this day. They had asbestos in the air. This was written into Obamacare, which Biden helped write, and
Yeah.
it exists. And mind you, I showed on the show a couple months, maybe a month back, Government Accountability Project, shout out, per a FOIA, they had proof that the same month the derailment happened, there was proof that the EPA was actually talking about 1881A in that email, and the guy said, I'd rather not get into
that.
And that was the lawyer for the for EPA. So
where does that, who is that guy? Where does he live?
That's he lives in Ohio.
Really? I live in Ohio.
Oh yeah. I'll have to give you the office address. Yep.
No, his home address.
That I don't know, but I can see what I can do. No. Oh no, don't.
I'm just kidding.
Nobody call the popo on me.
We won't. We wouldn't visit their homes or anything. That would be crazy.
Let me see.
Right.
All right. What else do we have coming up?
Rashida Tlaib said something.
You know, she's Palestinian, so I expected her to kind of, come out, and she always has been the outlier of, the squad.
The squad, yeah.
She has voted differently than them sometimes, but I'm not going to say I haven't been disappointed as fuck in many of her things. But
yeah,
she's going pretty fucking hard at Biden, and I'm here for it.
Okay.
I wanted to say how absolutely unconscionable that my colleagues are offering an amendment to prevent our U.S. government from even citing the Palestinian death toll. Since 1948, Mr. Speaker, there has been a coordinated effort, especially in this chamber, to dehumanize Palestinians and erase Palestinians from existence. The ethnic cleansing of Palestinians did not end in 1948. Today, Mr. Speaker, we are witnessing the Israeli apartheid government carry out a genocide in Gaza and in real time. And then this amendment is an attempt to hide it. Let me remind you all of the words of an Israeli defense minister who said, quote, we are imposing a complete siege on Gaza. No electricity, no food, no water, no fuel, everything closed. We are fighting human animals, end of quote. They don't even see Palestinians as human beings, Mr. Speaker. And here we are. My colleagues want to prohibit our own U.S. officials from even citing the Palestinian death toll. So let me read it. Here are the latest casualties of Palestinians killed. 37,718 Palestinians, including more than 15,000 Palestinian children, and more than 86,377 Palestinians have been injured. 6 children, Mr. Speaker, 6 are killed in Gaza every single hour. But Palestinians are not just numbers. Behind these numbers are real people, mothers, fathers, sons, daughters, who have had their lives stolen from them and their families torn apart. And we should not be trying to hide it. These are innocent children and babies who have been bombed in their tents, burned alive, dismembered, and deliberately starved to death. Where is our shared humanity in this chamber? There is so much anti-Palestinian racism in this chamber that my colleagues don't even want to acknowledge that Palestinians exist at all. Not when they're alive, and now not even when they're dead. is absolutely disgusting. This is genocide denial. Mr. Suga, I know the majority of this chamber doesn't believe Palestinians should live or exist, but I won't remain silent as the only Palestinian American serving in Congress. While folks attempt to ever even erase those who were killed with our own weapons. So if I may, later at the appropriate time, I will submit for the inclusion into the congressional record the list of the Palestinians killed in Gaza. And Mr. Speaker, it is important to note this to everyone here. The list is too long that I can't even submit it because of the text limit. That's how many have been killed.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's a shorter clip. I thought it was the whole thing, so apologize. But she goes on to talk about the woman who was found, I believe it was 2 weeks after she was shot with her daughter in the car 355 times.
What the?
By close point range. As far as the death toll, there is literally no way in hell it's 37,000. It's been that for like 6 months. It's not possible. But unfortunately, as reporters in Gaza have said, a lot of the buildings that were keeping the records of deaths have been bombed. They don't exist anymore.
I see.
So everything just stopped. The journalists and people in Gaza have said it's way more like at least 100 to 200,000. And that just sounds way more feasible.
Yeah, I mean, if we're killing Palestinians indiscriminately, there's no way that there's somebody like, all right, what was his name? What was her name? All right, how many kids did they have? How many kids did we kill today? There's nobody keeping that list. Yeah, that list.
And the other thing is, like, what about the thousands and thousands who are still under the rubble, who are missing? Can we just count them as being dead? Because they are.
Yeah.
Like, these poor babies. Like, I thought, that footage that MSM was actually picking up of that baby without, I thought, this has got to change. This is the one thing that, oh my God, we've been hearing about this for months, even though there's proof it never happened. And here's proof it happened to Palestinians. And nothing changed.
Yeah.
At this point, there's still people, I still have to say unalived, or they'll take my show down. There's still, many people being unalived by, bombs and what have you. But many is because they haven't eaten in weeks. They're malnourished. They have no water. If you see these pictures, and I don't want to pull them up because I know that, images are sensitive to certain people. If you go on Twitter, you can see a million of them.
Yeah.
But the emaciation of even these babies, I mean, nothing but bones. Just nothing but bones. How they're even breathing, I don't know. So it's not even, that's a casualty too. They're all casualties.
Yeah.
They have no homes, no jobs, no livelihoods, no food, no family. That's casualties. They've lost everything.
Yeah.
I don't see any end.
Well, especially when we are doing stuff like the Stand with Israel Act.
Yeah, you guys, like, since I'm in Pennsylvania, I know about this, and you guys might, but this is something that, I'm going to be posting about more on Twitter and everything. I'm in a Harrisburg Palestine coalition with some incredible organizers, some of which who are Palestinian. And we just organize local events and stuff. And, we've been really getting on this. It's just so disgusting.
I
Our
I had not
governor,
heard of this before you sent it to me. This is
do
new
what?
to me. I didn't know about this.
Yeah, I expect other states to adopt this. Governor Shapiro, let's not forget, I have Fetterman in my state.
Yeah.
Governor Shapiro met with 10 Palestinian constituents. They all live by me in the Harrisburg area for over an hour. This was several months ago.
Okay.
They wanted to talk to him and explain, their fear walking around, their what their families are going through. You name it, okay? He met
Yeah.
with them all. But an hour later, he posted on Twitter his loyalty to Israel.
Of course.
Not even, I just met with Palestinian people, blah, blah. Not even that. The only reason we know is because we know some of the people who were in there. Like,
What
he
a
didn't even
douchebag.
acknowledge he met with them. Like, can't you at least come out with some trite bullshit about how no one should feel scared when they live, when they're where they live, or like
Yeah.
something?
Something.
Because in that very building his office is, one of these women had a gun put to her head at one of our Palestine rallies.
Wow.
A guy came up, did that to her, and then swiftly walked away. Nothing ever happened to him for 2 days. Then he was arrested.
Okay, good.
But we're, and no, he never commented on that. Yeah, that's called a hate crime, douche. And yes, of course, he's bought out by APAC, just like everyone is.
That's what this is, right? I mean, this has to be.
So essentially, well, why don't you read it? And then,
Yeah.
because people don't know what it is, I'm sure.
So, by a 41-7 vote, the Pennsylvania Senate passed the Stand with Israel Act that prohibits holdings in the PA State Treasury or Commonwealth pension funds from boycotting or divesting from Israel and companies doing business with Israel. While the legislation has no impact on investment decisions made in the advancing of the financial positions of the funds, it does discourage the Keystone States institutions of higher learning from boycotting or divesting from Israel by withholding state funding from any institution that does so. So these college campus protests are part of this. Sounds like if you have one of those, you don't get state money.
Well, if they adhere to your demands, like if we protest, like the Harrisburg University up here, okay, and we say one of our BDS demands is, we want you to divest in, I don't know, fucking Starbucks, because they're Israel, supporters, and they do. Now our state gives them no money.
I see.
That college just lost all their funding from Pennsylvania. So what college is going to say, yes, we will divest from what? Why the fuck is Israel giving money to our schools?
So we can.
I mean, I know why, but why?
So they can propagandize us. It
It's
says
like,
Israel is our greatest ally in the Middle East, Joy. It's important for Pennsylvania to show our steadfast support. The United States of America has always stood with Israel. says Senator Kristen Phillips Hill.
Yeah, guess what? They used to say it was slavery too. Just because it's legal doesn't mean it's right. Good
And
God.
they even bring in Harry Truman.
Oh,
He
yeah.
said Harry Truman, he was the first world leader to recognize Israel as an independent state more than 76 years ago, as if that's a long time. That's not a long time, you guys.
Yeah, but that was also, but that was like a time of the Nakba too. And
Yeah.
the thing was, I think it's like pure conjecture to like even use people like that to say they would see things the same now. Maybe he would. I don't know. But never has there been a time more apparent that these, that the Israeli troops are absolutely terrorists. What they're doing is terrorism. And
Yeah.
even people who have been supportive of Israel in the past are now saying they are absolutely egregious. They're breaking multiple international laws. We used to be like, oh, the UN, the UN, the UN. Everyone in America loved the UN. Well, the UN's been screaming from the fucking rooftops for months that they're breaking international laws and they don't care.
Yep.
It's insanity. Absolute insanity. So yeah, that's what my state just did.
It's
That
like
passed a few
encoded
days
at
ago.
the state government level. It's not even a federal thing anymore. It's like this individual state's like, oh, wait, us. We're your favorite, right? We love you the most. Do other states do this? Do you know? Is Pennsylvania the first?
This is the first.
Okay.
I looked it up. I couldn't find it. Please let me know, guys, if
Wow,
there's
aren't you so
another
proud
one.
of your state? Wow, such a good
I
state.
looked it up. You what?
It's such a good state you're in.
Oh,
I
I
love
love
your
my
state.
state.
You got
Well, the
Fetterman.
one thing that's good about my state is I'm not far from New York, Baltimore, Philly. Like, I'm kind of around good stuff in Harrisburg, but, I'm not a fan of this. I can tell you that much. And this is just one of the a bajillion examples of how our voice is their position supersedes our voice always.
Yep.
We have been screaming at the rooftops for 9 months, marching and protesting multiple times a week for 9 months. We call our Senate and, representative offices nonstop, email, everything, and they still come out with this bill.
Well, the problem is that we are not offering our congressmen any money. We have to, like,
This is
instead of
true.
protest, we have to crowdsource. We have to out bribe our own politicians so that it'll actually work for us.
But that's what's so bananas too, because why is there no law that AIPAC is a foreign entity when
Yes,
you can't take money from other countries? It's illegal, except Israel.
it's treason or something, right? Some big
Yeah.
serious thing. Yeah.
Yes, it's law. But Israel is not
They're above
in
the law.
that category. It is the only one that is not in that category.
Very interesting.
Yeah, interesting. Oh, because I know why. Because if they couldn't take money from Israel, they wouldn't get elected. Because what was it? I think it was something like, well, this was months ago. It could have changed, but it was something like 89% of candidates who AIPAC gave money to have been elected.
Oh, it's almost like Israel controls all of our voting machines.
Isn't that kind of crazy?
It is kind of
Oh,
crazy.
maybe because like you have the most money, you have the most, propaganda, the most media, the most.
Could be.
I mean, it's just kind of like it's really interesting.
Very lots to think about.
Yeah.
You want to talk about Joe Biden? I have a few Joe Biden things lined up here.
Oh, you guys, I can't handle this. Okay, I'm talking about this.
Apparently, there was some debate that happened. I didn't see, but I heard there was a debate.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know if you could call it that. This was it was the first time I've watched MSM in a really long time. Like if I see clips of something, I'll watch it sometimes, especially if someone sends it to me. But
yeah,
oh my God, this was bad. But it was entertaining. But it was bad. It'd be more entertaining if it wasn't my fucking country. It's like this is fucking depressing.
It's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed to live here.
If we don't laugh, we'll cry. But sometimes we do both. Yeah, just start playing. These are just a few of the gems.
Awesome.
Until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more border patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look.
God damn it.
I'm sorry. That is the funniest shit I've seen in so long. That is so fucking hilarious. The one time I was like, yo, Trump's cracking me up. That was like it. But that was fucking hilarious. I don't even know what he said just there. And I don't think he does anyone either. But oh my God, that was so fucking good.
All right. Here's something with Jake Tapper.
A pattern.
Here we go.
A pattern, discernible pattern of Democratic officials seemingly trying to convince you, the public, to not believe what you saw and what you heard with your eyes and with your ears on Thursday night. Democratic officials have tried to spin this in many ways. They said President Biden just had a cold. They said it was just one off night, akin to when President Obama in 2012 was rusty and seemed a little huffy. But behind the scenes, make no mistake, most Democratic officials witnessed the same shocking spectacle that you did. The difficulty that the presumptive Democratic nominee, the current president of the United States, had just articulating his basic thoughts during the 90 minutes of the debate. With all due respect, it is not honest to say that this is just one night. There have been moments like this that people have seen in front of the cameras and other moments, but with.
Seems like that's the end of that video.
Dude, Jake Tapper. He's a bootlegger. And the fact that people like him are saying it is like, wow. And then I think, that video's next to it. That's a separate video.
You want to play that one too?
Yeah.
Ensure that we continue to strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. With dealing with everything we have to do with.
Oh my God!
Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump.
What did he say?
We finally beat Medicare.
We finally beat Medicare, Joy.
Yeah.
This isn't real. This is clown world. This is not.
It is fucking clown world. And it's not even that he's running. It's our fucking president. Like,
he's already the president, right? We're already in the worst timeline. And then we're going to choose whether we want to stay in the worst timeline. Okay. Here's one. Biden doesn't blink.
Just do what you want. There's a thing called Article 5. Attack on one is attack on all. Required response. The idea. I can't think of a single major leader in the world who wouldn't trade places with.
Hold on, let me see if I can do that.
You also have to be spouting bullshit while you do it.
I can't do it. Can you do it? What was it? 16 seconds?
17 at least. I mean, was
Okay, wait, ready? Start. Tell me when you start.
and go.
And win and let Putin say, do what you want, NATO. Just do what you want.
Oh my God, I lasted like 5 freaking seconds.
An attack on one is attack on all. The required response.
Yeah, I
The
blinked.
idea- the
Yeah, I
idea-
mean, maybe he's not human or something. Maybe, I'm not a conspiracy guy, but he's on drugs, right? We have comments. Can confirm. We are in hell. Josh Hedge said.
Aw, Joshy. Sweet pea.
Yeah,
Thanks for
worst time.
joining.
Let's see. Jake Tapper again. Surprisingly, might have some things to say. He's being allowed to say these things now. It's okay to say these things now.
I mean, he has given fewer press conferences, fewer interviews than any president in modern history, including the previous one, who's now running for re-election. And this could all be.
And the previous one told more lies per sentence than any candidate has ever told on a debate stage.
This is not the discussion that we're having. We could certainly, have that conversation. I certainly didn't particularly care for it when President Trump said no U.S. service members had been killed in the previous 4 years. But moving on from things that were said that were not true, I think it is easy to settle this right now by President Biden going to the Brady Press Center, the press file in the White House, and doing a 2-hour press conference. Everybody would cover it live. Networks probably would cover it live. He'd answer all these questions. It's not a crazy thing to expect a president to do. And the fact is, that the campaign knows that. The White House knows that. That's how you settle this. You just put him in front of reporters, and he handles himself with acuity, aplomb. We all see it was just a fluke. Oh, my God, I can't believe it happened. And we move on. The fact that you haven't done that says quite a bit to me.
Jake, what I've just said maybe 3 times in this interview is that is what I am urging and recommending.
I mean,
I personally did not think of something like that. I think it's a really good idea, and I think it'll be entertaining as fuck if he actually does it, which he won't. There's no fucking way they will let him do that. No way. Because, when it was going on, like, I was live tweeting about, like, some of the shit he was saying about, like, how 500,000 troops have been killed in Russia. 500,000 troops.
Really?
Yes, 500,000 troops have been killed in Russia, according to Biden.
Wow.
It's impressive, right? So I was live tweeting this shit, and I'm getting these like blings on Twitter where these like hacks are like, 2 sources from the White House have just confirmed the president has a cold. Okay, so do I. What's your point? Like, they were trying to, like, he had a hoarse voice. Who gives a fuck? What does that have to do with anything?
Nothing.
It's a stutter.
Kamala Harris has something to say about it.
But you know what? That is very interesting that he's given less press conferences than any president in modern history, including Trump. I didn't know that. I know he hasn't done much of any, but that's really interesting.
Yeah, well, they don't want him talking. They just need him there so they can blackmail him into doing whatever they want him to do. He has so much dirt that he's just blackmailable to do anything. So that's what he is. He's just a puppet being pulled along. And his wife is there for it too. Do we have something about that?
Oh, we do.
We do at the end. Okay, good. His wife is terrible. Here's a comment that says, a stutter that makes you look like a fentanyl zombie. Here we go. Kamala. What What you got?
Listen, first of all, what we saw tonight is the president making a very clear contrast with Donald Trump on all of the issues that matter to the American people. Yes, there was a slow start, but it was a strong finish. And what became very clear through the course of the night is that Joe Biden is fighting on behalf of the American people, on substance, on policy, on performance. Joe Biden is extraordinarily strong. And
but I'm sorry,
that
on
cannot
substance
be
and
debated.
policy and performance tonight, I mean, the president's performance tonight clearly was disappointing for his supporters.
Listen.
Listen.
The president tonight was clearly like, she's on pills too. I don't know that for a fact, but something.
Yep.
But can't you just admit that it was bad? Like, even if you want to do some trite shit, like, you know, he's had better times, but, you know, he'll come back stronger next time. Like, the whole denying it and everything just makes it so much worse.
Because you know they're lying, right? And they know, we know, they're bullshitting.
They know, we know, they know, they know, they're lying, that we know, they know.
They have to double down.
They know. Yup. Josh, what was that you said? I forget the word you used, but someone was like chronogenically frozen. I think it was fucking Kissinger. I think it was chronogenically frozen or something.
Cryogenically frozen?
Yeah. What is next?
We have something. Apparently, they're signaling Biden where to look. Let me see.
President Biden, a record number of migrants have illegally crossed the southern border on your watch. Overwhelming border states. And under the issue of immigration and border security, President Biden, a record number of migrants have illegally crossed the case temporary. President Biden.
Interesting.
Like, how is that not like being partial? Like, you're literally telling the president which way to turn? I'm so fucking confused.
Interesting.
Not as much as he is, but Jesus.
Oh. Okay. I'm just going to play this.
And he went to the funeral. The idea that she was murdered by an immigrant coming in, they talk about that. But here's the deal: there's a lot of young women to be raped by their in-laws, by their spouses, brothers and sisters.
Brothers and sisters.
Okay, so the number one reason that, besides but Trump, but Republicans, the number one reason why vote blue no matter who people tell you have to vote Dem is because of abortion, right? This was a slam fucking dunk question. This is the thing you always talk about. If you vote for Trump, he's going to get rid of abortion. This is what they talk about 24/7.
Yep, I hear it at home.
He fucked it up so epically. And then he was talking about being raped by your brothers and sisters. What the fuck is he even talking about?
I don't know. I don't even think he knows.
Oh, I'm not going to say what I was going to say. Don't, Joy. Don't say it.
Josh put a comment in. So there's a new Matt Orff video.
Yes, I saw it.
Where Biden is sharp. I didn't see this one yet.
Oh my God. You know how after everything, there's a word or a phrase that all the talking heads use.
Yeah.
All of them. Like, after, it was storm the Capitol for the longest time, and then insurrection. And it's like you just see everything start, like
See the
you'll type in a word or a phrase, and it's just like CNN, NBC, and just do. Well, Matt Orff, who's been on the show, Orfleo, he made a new video that's, I posted it. If you want to see it, it's on my Twitter. Where it's like, he's sharp as a tack. He's sharp. And it's just like clips of like all of them saying that over and over. It's just like, yeah, okay, dude, you just had a bad night. He was sick. And you know what's real fucked up? He asked for this debate. Biden did. This wasn't scheduled.
You know what? I don't believe that, honestly.
No. It wasn't. It was supposed to happen at the end of July.
I don't believe it was Biden himself.
Oh,
who said-
no.
Like, I really feel like having a debate right now, right?
What's that?
He's not trying to find ways to have more debates with people. That's
No. Well,
true.
that was their fucking hubris. That was their stupidity. They think, it was the Hillary. That's what I'm going to call the Hillary. The I can't lose. I'm up against Trump. That's what she always said. I don't have to do the rest of the debates. I don't need the Bernie bro support. I'm winning, blah, blah, blah. Well, Biden did that. I'm debating Trump. I got this shit. And then,
it's in the bag, man. Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Trump looked like trash as usual. But, I mean, the difference is Trump looks like trash because he's a pompous dumbass who is like braggadocious to the point where he's like, they said I was the best. They said I was the top. They said there was never anyone better.
Yeah.
Everything is the absolute. Everything is the highest, the strongest, the biggest, the best. And it's just like, it's beyond exaggeration. It's this obsessive compulsive thing. And that to me was the most noticeable thing. And he's a fucking idiot. He's crap. But at the same time, he's the boogeyman. He's supposed to be like that. The Dems are supposed to be like, oh, Obama was so well spoken. And,
Gosh,
things
remember
like
Obama?
that.
Early Obama was so good, man. I fell
I
for
know.
it.
I know. Before I learned what a fucking warmonger he was, I actually really liked him.
We didn't know, man. We had no way of knowing.
No, sure didn't.
All right, I have one more tab open here for Joe Biden, and his wife. Yes, this is the one. Here we go.
Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the facts. And let me ask the crowd, what did Trump do? Why?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, that voice. Second of all, play that again. Is there any way to zoom into his face?
Let me see.
I mean, his expression is just fucking, oh my God.
It's not letting me zoom in.
Ah, damn. Just watch it. Everybody watch
such a
his
great job.
face.
You answered every question. You knew all the facts. And let me ask the crowd.
He's so happy.
He had, okay, you're a dad. When your kids want a cookie, when they do something good, are they like,
No.
do I get a cookie?
That's
because that's what he, isn't it? So it's like, did I do good? Did I do good?
He remembers to smile there at the end. Is it? Oh. I have a feeling that we're supposed to feel this way. I don't know why. I feel like it's part of the propaganda. And I know that makes me a crazy person, but there's no way that they actually have faith in this man. There's no way.
Well, they don't. And,
Right?
they said that
God damn.
Biden met with his family at Camp David yesterday,
Yeah.
and they stated that, nope, he's in it.
Ugh.
And did you see this whole speech? Because Jill goes, I ran for president because Joe ran for president because
Yeah, she did. She ran the show, didn't she? She's the one pulling the strings.
she was.
She's gross. She's gross. She's written some
Remember
books.
when she said something about like Mexicans make the best like burritos or something? I forget what it was. It was like 2 years ago, and she was talking about like
I don't know.
how she supports Mexican people and like how much she loves their enchiladas. You don't remember that video?
Nope.
It was at some campaign speech.
I believe
Okay,
it.
now you have to look it up because people are gonna think I'm fucking nuts. Just look it up on YouTube or something. It was like she said she was talking to a Mexican audience, and she was like, I love your breakfast burritos or something.
All right.
She did, I swear to God, I'm not even kidding you.
All right. I found it.
But we do things on our own. Raul helped build this organization with the understanding that the diversity of this community, as distinct as the Bogotas of the Bronx, as beautiful as the blossoms of Miami, and as unique as the breakfast tacos here in San Antonio, is worth
Wow.
winning. And
I
yet,
can't.
when you speak,
I'm trying to find. I forgot to add the funny. Wait, I think here it goes. Is that all we have?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay, let me.
I'm assuming that she had some tacos that she really liked, and so she put that in the speech.
I guess so.
Trying to give
Maybe
her the
that's
benefit of the
where
doubt here.
they put Joe's. Okay, never mind. Where'd the damn thing? Oh, here it goes. Yeah, okay. You have to play this. This is the funny.
All right. Stand by. Let me share my screen. Hotspots. Here we go. Sorry about that.
No, Taraji. Now, you know I wouldn't do that, especially not to a fellow bison. The real, ain't you? You know. So what's on your mind?
Oh, Madam VP Harris, I'm worried about the election. Women's reproductive rights are on the line. Our Supreme Court is on the line. Our basic freedoms are being tested, Madam VP. I know you've been traveling across the country. What are you hearing?
Yeah, girl, I'm out here in these streets. And let me tell you, you're right, Taraji. There is so much at stake in this moment. The majority of us believe in freedom and equality. But these extremists, as they say, they're not like us.
They not.
There's a full-on attack on our fundamental freedoms. The freedom to vote.
Yep.
The freedom to love who you love. The freedom to be safe from gun violence. The freedom for a woman to make decisions about her own body, not having her government tell her what to do.
This is real?
Yes.
I see the Comedy Central logo, but it says paid for by Biden Harris, so it's real.
No, it's real.
I believe it. This is on point.
Girl, you know I'm out here in these streets.
You know. Mm-hmm.
This is like
We got
Taraji. You know we go way back to 5 minutes ago. Oh my God, dude.
Like they're old friends.
Look,
Look at this
this is.
old ass iPhone she's holding. This is iPhone Model 1. Oh, never
I've
mind.
known Taraji since I had that bootleg Tupac tape in my trunk. I told everyone about, and it turns out I said I had it in college, but Tupac wasn't born yet. But that's okay.
She lies. Let's talk about us v them. They're not like us. Red v blue. It makes me want to puke so much. I hate election years, not only because I'm a flat out election denier person, but I don't know. It just seems such like, here, you two fight each other, keep fighting so we can run off with all the money and leave you poor and disenfranchised. Geez, this is not funny. Now I'm mad.
I know. I'm telling you. Like, that's why we try to end it with funnies. We try.
It's kind of funny. It's trying to be funny. That's the thing.
Well, let's do what we've done sometimes, and let's end stuff with funnies that aren't political.
Okay.
We'll do that.
Do you have one in mind?
No, not tonight, but
all right, for next time.
I could tell a joke.
Okay.
I think I probably already told you this in person because it's my jam. How do you make a handkerchief dance?
I don't know. How do you make a handkerchief dance?
Put a little boogie in it.
That's a dad joke.
It is, and I love it. It's so good.
I like it. Good joke.
Yeah, tell your kids.
I will.
They'll be like, Dad, you're genius. Yes. Well, you guys, Matt and I decided tomorrow night we are going to do a separate episode just about Assange. Because frankly, it's just not enough to give him like the little segment of our shows that we kind of split up. So we'll just be doing one for him tomorrow. Since I've been off for 2 weeks in Italy, like I wasn't doing shows when it happened. So, and there's a lot to go through, to go over, especially even more updates and everything like that. So tune in tomorrow night at 9, same bat channel. And thank you guys so much for watching. I do have a Patreon. And you can subscribe for as little as $3 a month. That does help me pay for my streaming costs and all those things. And I also have a Buy Me a Coffee, which is just $5 increments, like each $5 is a coffee, which also helps towards, my equipment and all that fun stuff. Also, I decided yesterday that I'm going to try downloading some of my episodes, the audio versions, and putting them up on Spotify. I want to start doing a lot of these as a podcast instead. I'm going to see how that works as well. So check that out. But yes, we will see you tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern. Thanks so much, guys, for tuning in. Much love.
Adios, everyone.